What's up, y'all? The beginning of Fibonacci Farms. Got my house going in. My mango trees, my papayas and bananas and plantains. We got Ja saying hello. We got a little breakfast right here. Just some bananas and fruit, man. That's all you really need for breakfast. Get you going, man. Gives you energy. You start eating bacon and eggs and bread and English muffins and toast. I mean, who's ready? That's gonna slow you down for your day, man. Protected by the mountains, man. Surrounded by mountains, butted up against a forest. Nature telling me, I got you. I got you. You're in my arms, man. I got you. Live fearless. Don't worry about that outside world, man. You got mangoes, you got papayas, you got bananas, you got avocado trees. They're about to flower and hit. You're taken care of. So I can do what I gotta do. Which is lift that veil of that false reality you call life. And that's what I gotta do, man. I saw it, man, and I followed my path and followed my intuition, and it got me all the way here to the land, man, to live in peace, to live a fear-free life. And that's exactly what they don't want, man. They don't want you living in peace. They don't want you being free. They don't want you raising your kids and educating them about the things that matter. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm out here fighting the system. I'm out here fighting the system. You know? Trying to get that sun out of my eyes. You know, and not contributing to it. Not contributing to it. None of my dollars go into these unjust systems of environmental and people destroying systems. And you guys, man, you guys are my leaders. You guys are the leaders. We're the leaders. For some reason, through our search for truth and our search for knowledge that this internet has brought for us, lifting the veil, we were able to have discernment, which led us on this path with no hiccups. Because there's people out there that get stuck on hiccups, and that's where they are. They don't reach the spiritual side yet. They're stuck in the governmental low level, and that's exactly where they want you. Oh, the government's corrupt, and then you're going to be out there on the front lines fighting them, and then they're going to be tear gassing you at point blank range, and then the media is going to show you as a nuisance. And then you got the blind patriotic people like, yeah, I seen one of them step on a flag, you know, they're bad. Tear gas them right in the face with that new water cannon $1 million assault vehicle that you guys built, you know? And so, you know, that isn't what we got to be doing, man. We got to be going to the land, man, to what sustains you, to what protects you. Get off these systems, plant a garden. Get off these systems, man. Let's start building communities. We have to start building communities. Plan on doing a community here. Getting a community going. So we can detach off these systems, be free. So we're the leaders, man. We're the leaders, man. We got to show people this real reality. And through that process, you know, we got people that are stuck on that governmental level of, man, this is, I mean, you can spend all day, every day, clucking and picking and reading articles about the unjust systems. You can do it a whole day, every day, all day, every day, all day, every day. Oh man, did you see this WikiLeaks article? Oh my God, have you seen this congressman? He did this and that and this. Oh, have you seen? Oh my God, Trump's doing this and that. I mean, you can spend all day, and it's gonna lead to the same thing. It's fucking corrupt. It is crooked. There's not one good soul, not one righteous person, not one man in those ranks. Not one man. They're fueled by greed and raised as a system. And they've been picked. They've been cherry picked because the only reason they get to those levels is because they're a good con man that don't give a shit about people. And this is what capitalism, and this is what our systems raise, is you not to give a shit about your neighbor. You not to get a shit, you know what? And we're going to pat you on the back. We're going to move you up. And you know what? If you're a slick talker, you know how to scam and con, you might just be a politician one day. Yeah. Those are the best I mean, talk about Zika billion-dollar scams. UNICEF, all these foreign, I mean, these are billion-dollar scams. Even what you think is good is a billion-dollar scam. They're the best of the best. That's what we're doing with our minds. We're finding the best con men and raising them up to be leaders. And you know what? I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to find the best righteous people that live with morals, that live with standards, that live with a conscience and empathy and compassion. And we're going to rise up together. And we're going to eradicate these people, man. We're going to eradicate them, man. We're going to get them out of here. They're already crumbling, man. They're already crumbling. You know? I already see it, man. I see the future. I see it, man. These systems, they're fueled on green. They're doing bumps. Just driving a car 100 miles an hour. Listen to 80s Metallica. Heading right towards a cliff. Just bumping green. Snorting lines of greed. Ah, you know, and it's just like, boom. What I'm telling you to do is step back. Get off that crazy train. Get off that crazy train. If you want to be in the back of the crazy train and be like, well, but I really like this. I really like my GMOs. I really like my fries soaked in GMO oil, you know, and my kids love it. And, you know, so I'm just going to sit right back here and not learn any of this and just, you know, and just see if they maybe stop. But it ain't gonna happen, man. It ain't gonna happen, man. They're sitting up there fueled on greed, giving each other high fives, like, yeah! Doing a snort of greed, doing a ninja kick, like, let's do it. And you're in the back just like, fingers crossed, like, man, they're gonna stop, right? They care about me. They're gonna stop, right? They care about me. That ain't gonna happen. So we gotta step off this train, man. Every dollar you spend, man, puts you into this group. Puts you in. That's how all this works, man. Every dollar you spend, every single dollar, man. Start taking your paycheck for a month. Start taking your paycheck for a month. And say, okay, let's say I made X amount of dollars. Let's start tracking this shit. Okay, first of all, I'm putting into a Chase, a B of A, a Wells Fargo. So right away, you're saying I'm okay with war. I'm okay with systematically oppressing black people with not getting them loans, hurting those communities. I'm okay with environmental. I mean, when you're banking at these large banks like this, you're saying you're okay with a lot of shit, and then they're taking your money. Then they're just charging you all these fees that are taking your money. They make like $3 billion a year in late fees So they're taking $3 billion from people that are struggling and don't have money and have a little hiccup. Get out of those banks, man. Bank locally, right away. You can do this right away. If you're going to B of A every day, you're going to Wells Fargo, you're going to Chase, you're saying, I'm okay with war, I'm okay with world destruction, I'm okay with my enslavement, I'm okay with these things. And I'm not okay with these things, man. So this is a change you can do right now. So what? There's only 3 of those community banks. You might have to go an extra block or 2 to get to it. But they give you better service. They keep your money local. Same with these Walmarts, man. Same with these Walmarts. You want to be shopping at these Walmarts. They got the cheapest prices. You know what I mean? Like, they got my kids' favorite snack foods there. I can go do my grocery shopping, and I can get, you know, my cheap furniture desk that's gonna break in a week. You know what I mean? Just to where I gotta buy it 4 times over. So instead of just buying a good quality piece of furniture from someone else, and you know, those places are out of business anyways because of these IKEAs and Walmarts. They're just shipping in cheap shit that you gotta buy 5 times over. That's it, man. You have to buy this shit 10 times over in your life instead of buying one, and it's just going to last and be high quality. But all these people are out of business. All these people are out of business. Your sporting goods store where you get service. Your furniture stores, you know. Your kids' clothing stores, you know. Those moms that are just passionate and love kids and love clothes and love having, you know, the shoe stores, you know, people that like shoes and just, you know, all those are gone now. They're gone. Your community has been destroyed, and you're voting every day saying, I don't give a shit about my neighbor. I don't give a shit if you actually smiled on your way to your sporting goods store. I don't give a shit if you actually smiled on your way to your baby clothing store and you made a living and it was your business and you woke up every day feeling proud of what you were doing. I don't give a shit because I'm saving $1. I'm saving $1 over here. And yeah, that shit's gonna break. And I'm gonna have to buy another one. And yeah, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna get shitty service. And yeah, our government is gonna give them billions of dollars of subsidies because they can't pay their people a living wage. Give their workers food stamps, give them billions of dollars in subsidies, and it's coming out of your yeah, all that's going on, but it's okay because I'm saving a nickel now. I'm saving a nickel now. And you guys are okay with it. You're like, you know what? Hey, they got my favorite GMOs, and that's all that shit is, man. It's poison. Just filled to the brim full of poison, man. And you guys are slugging it down, breathing this chemtrail air, saying, what? This is normal. This is normal, just a foggy, hazy. I mean, what kind of free thinker are you? Turn off those TVs, for crying out loud. You walk outside. That's how you know, man. If you walk outside and you just see streak upon streak upon streak upon streak just raining down on you, and you say, you're crazy, this is just airline traffic. You have no original thoughts going on. You're a programmed computer fighting in response. This is what happens when you talk about these types of things to a robot. They immediately, they've done zero research. They like hanging out, you know, doing jack shit with their life constantly, tuned into watching Pawn Stars all day, you know, and then, but all of a sudden they know all about what's going on. And they can tell you about it because you've spent hours of research. You're on this truth trail. But yet they're going to tell you because they're a robot. You threaten the system. So that it's programmed in their head already to fight you. Because you threaten their reality that they love and hold dear. You know? And it's just, you know, it's like that term conspiracy theorist. I like seeing things evolve, though. I've been seeing things evolve, man. You go back 5-6 years ago, I remember, dude, trying to wake people up and get them some of this information. Dude, I used to be you know, and I kind of gave up over it because it's like, I'm not, you know, I'm not really a confrontational person where I like to get into huge arguments. You know, I can either give you the information and do what you want with it. I don't want to sit here and argue with you about it. If you can't see it and you want to be one of these robot computers that are just going to be conspiracy, you know, it's these attitudes of these people is funny too, man. They got it all figured out, you know. Oh, you're one of those clowns, you know what I mean? Like, and they act like they know, these know-it-alls, man, the know-it-alls. I think half the reason I got to where I am is just because I was willing to know I don't know anything. And I still don't, man. I'm still learning, man. And I'm into the nature and beauty side of things now, and that's where I'm learning the most, you know. Fuck all that government shit. Fuck all this corrupt systems. I mean, it's a pinwheel. Keep your mind going. Look at, they're corrupt. Yes, they're corrupt. Now what? Now what? You're going to go to Walmart? You're going to eat GMO foods? You're going to support these systems? The hypocrisy, man, it's ridiculous. You know? You're going to sit there all day. Oh, these are, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, grab your pitchfork then go to D.C. Don't sit there at your house and just say these systems are corrupt, because everyone, I don't think anyone disagrees with you anymore. That's the evolution you can see with this stuff is things are changing, man. Things are, what people are waking up. We're heading this route. And we don't need all y'all. We don't. We need to hit this 10% critical mass and things are flipped. And sure, it's going to be a beautiful ride to that 10%. It's going to be a beautiful ride, raising all you leaders and all of us leaders coming together and leading this 10% up. It's going to be beautiful, man. And it's going to be magical, man. And it's going to be with pineapples in our hands and bananas and in communities and raising our kids together and playing and singing and dancing. That's going to be our revolution. Pure fun, pure enjoyment, pure living life. Saying we're free. Saying we saw your games. We saw them. We see these traps since you're a little kid, and your parents are falling into them and raising your kid into these traps. And then it's just creating generations of traps to where now you're fighting for your oppressor. Now you're calling your buddy the lunatic that is on this truth trail. And, you know, and it starts with detaching from these systems, man. These systems don't represent you. Detach from them. Doesn't got to be any more complicated than that. And I know you're going to have those people too that are, well, Bobby, you're making that video on an iPhone. What's up, man? What's up, dude? I mean, you have a car. You're putting gas in that car. You're going to be that person? You're going to be that person. We got to use these things, man. This is our reality. But using as minimal as you can. Not supporting GMOs. Not supporting these enslavement companies like Nestle and Walmart and these horrible corporations out there destroying the environment. Like Monsanto and all these things, you know. You can be cutting out 99% and then use technology for good. For spreading this information. Use your car to farm and help, and you know, you have to get around until we take the power back. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take this power back. We have all this technology. And they're not giving it to us because it enslaves you. Look at you. You're slave to the power company. You're slave to your gas in your car. You're slave to these things. They don't want you to be free. They don't want you to have your freedoms. They don't want you to live sustainably. They don't want hemp replacing all these industries and being good for the environment. They don't want these things. And that's why we have to unite, man. That's how come we have to take this power back. That's why we got to detach from these systems. You know? And that's what we got to do. And if you're still eating this, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of you guys, you know, you're on the spiritual path and You're still giving in to these desires. You know, it's just, you know, that In-N-Out burger's good. And it's hard. I know it's hard, but this is what it is, man. No one said making this change is going to be easy. Going out to the front lines and getting sprayed with water cannons as you're trying to fight for a good system and morals in our politics, that's hard too. A revolution's never easy. A revolution isn't, okay, I can sit here, eat my GMO, play my video games, slug my beers on the weekend, and everything's going to change. No. It takes work. And if you want to go that route, you know, all I got to say is they control the media. They want you to fight these systems, man, so don't do it. The way you fight these systems is detaching from them. Planting bananas and mango. It don't matter if you're back home. Start planting plum trees and apricot trees and apple trees and food security, man. Start growing a garden. Start growing winter crops. Start getting out to the country. Start building communities. And I got a plan, man. I got a plan. I can see this system. I can see him coming down. I can see us rising. I can see it all unfolding over the last 10 years. The awakening happening. What's going on. The movements going. Them crumbling on greed. And I can just see the process, man. And people are going to come together, man. And it's going to be great. People are going to build these communities, man. Instead of a rich millionaire just sitting with the barbed wire fence, keeping everyone out with 15, 20 rooms in his house that aren't doing shit. How about be a leader of a community? How about waking up and walking around your community every day feeling pride, feeling righteous, feeling like a man because you're helping your fellow man get out of these systems? And then you'll be surprised what everyone's going to do for you, man. You're going to have the best life, man. Get rid of that barbed wire walls keeping everybody out. Get out of those cities that just fuel where you got to drive and show off your newest Porsche, you know, and be like, look what I got because I did it and you didn't. Get rid of that ideology, man. Get out into the land, man. Build a community. And let's start doing that, man. Let's start getting all of us together, you know? To where the community will be great and grand and everyone will be living in harmony. People will be raising their kids. You'll be playing. You'll be making music. You'll be having a good time and fighting these systems. And as these communities keep popping up and keep popping up and keep popping up, yeah, they might deem a few of them as crazy and these are the outlaws because that's it, man. They don't want you doing this. This is it. They want you to be on the front lines. They just spent $1 million on this new fucking snowplow water cannon riot vehicle and they're telling you all about it. It's the new technical thing of riot gear and they're sharing it with you. They're like, check it out, everybody. Check it out. Look what our riot force just came. Look at this. This is the newest design in tear gas / water system. Spray at point blank range right in your face vehicle. Isn't it cool? And you guys are like, yeah. Well, yeah, man, that thing's cool. Yeah, that's the technology of riot gear. Get those people. And then next thing you know, it's right at your doorstep. You know? Just don't understand, man. Just don't understand. Afraid of terrorism. Afraid of terrorism. You sit in your house cheering on your oppressor. These are the ideologies, man, we got to change. This is the way this is what we got to change, man. This type of view. This pill that they're feeding you. Let that veil of reality lift, man. See the light of day. See what's going on out there. They're not on your side, and we're not in an area where we can just sit right now and kick back, throw our feet up, and watch people play a game for millions and millions of dollars while everyone's suffering. And they're telling you, step on your neighbor to get ahead. I mean, you're really not a millionaire or billionaire unless you're scamming people. especially billionaire stat. You don't make it there unless you're doing something horrible. That's just business. That's just the way things go. You got to be destroying the environment. You got to be stepping on your fellow man. There's so few companies. And if you do need somewhere else, I mean, there's steps you can do. If you need somewhere to shop instead of Walmart, go to Costco. Costco's got great organics, man. They're great. And if Winco, at least, they probably have full of GMOs, but they probably have organics too, though. And Winco pays their employees well. There's millionaire employees because of their stock benefits and health care. Same with Costco. Part-time workers get health care. They got good business models. And these are few and far between. Costco, man, get a membership. Buy the organics in bulk. Start cooking for yourself. And really go back to the land, because soon, with the tyranny that's going on, organic certification ain't going to mean shit. And it pretty much already doesn't, because all these big organic companies have been bought out by these pro-GMO companies. So now it's in the hands of the greedy. You know, your Dave's Killer Bread and all these Annie's Organics, all these things you like, now they're in the hands of pro-GMO companies that spent millions of dollars fighting for GMOs. So this is where our organic community is going. So the more local, the more farmers markets, the more good-hearted people you can get, know where your food's coming from. Be able to look that person in the eye and say, okay, this person's growing my veggies. Okay, this person's making these, you know, veggie burgers or whatever. Even if you're still eating meat, you know, I say detach off that stuff, man. You don't need it. You don't need it, you know. And, you know, you just can't say you love animals with one in the oven, you know what I mean? But, you know, it's time to change these ideologies. Time to start seeing this future that we live in, this way that we live in. Start making change, man, with you drinking good, clean, mineral water. Tons of it, eating tons of fruit. Start planting fruit trees, change your lifestyle, man. Because this change, this revolution comes with you, man. You changing your lifestyle. You want to live for it. It's easy to die. I'll die for this earth, but you don't want to live for it. I'll die for this, you know, I'll sacrifice myself to die for this change. That's easy. You think you can just go die and then everything's going to change because you sacrificed your death? That's easy. That's the easy part, man. Living for it is what's hard. Making those changes in you, putting down those GMO-soaked French fries. Detoxing those parasites from those GMOs and that meat and that nasty shit from these inhumane environmental destruction systems. Detoxing out of that, that's hard. Living, making these changes, having discipline, that's hard. But there's a reward, man. There's a reward. There's enlightenment, man. The universe will know this stuff, man. They see you. They said, look at this guy. He's actively making change. He's constantly thinking. He threw away his TV.